Elder law and estate planning ensures you and your loved ones are taken care of by addressing what happens when you decline, how you want to be cared for, and how your wealth should be distributed after you're gone. Hi, this is David, an elder law and estate planning attorney in DC. In this brief introduction, we'll explore what constitutes an estate, why estate planning is essential, and how planning ahead can preserve family harmony and control over your affairs.
Let's get started. What is an estate? An estate is simply anything that you own that's in your name at the time that you die. Everybody has an estate. It can be very large, it can be very small. If all you have are the clothes on the back when you die, that is your estate. But usually, an estate for most people includes their homes, their checking accounts, any stock certificates, any IRAs, or in this area, we have their savings plan. There's stuff without title, which is jewelry and things of that nature, and insurance policies. Now, insurance policies are very interesting because people have heard that when an insurance policy pays out, it's not included in the person's estate, or you don't have to pay taxes on it. Well, that is true. You don't have to pay income taxes on the benefits that you receive, but the policy itself, if it's $1 million, will be included in the person's estate. So insurance policy sometimes confuses people. And we get to the first question in the poll, and that first question was, I have an estate even if I am not rich, and the answer is true. That was a true question. Why do estate planning? Most people start thinking about estate planning for one reason or another when they contemplate their own deaths, and they want to make sure that their loved ones are taken care of, that property is distributed to those people. Sometimes they think about, the cost of the process, and they want to lower the costs associated with it. And I would say that the more important aspect of doing good planning is preserving family harmony after you die. You should also do estate planning for the purposes of incapacity. Um, this is probably the more important aspect, in my opinion, and what we focus on in our practice is making sure that if you decline, that you remain in control to the extent that you have the right people making the right decisions for you as you would make them. And that too is a way of preserving family harmony. So I'm going to talk about two famous people who had wills, and we're going to talk about how having only a will is not very useful. Elvis Presley, when he died, he had about $10 million in his gross estate. I used to think that was awfully low when you think about Elvis Presley, but indeed it is true. At the time that he died, he had about more than a quarter, I mean, more than a third in debt. Uh, his administrative and executive fees was again another $2 million, and the estate taxes was another third. Back then, when he died, estate taxes, most states had their own estate tax as well as a federal estate tax. So that is what Elvis Presley's estate paid. Ultimately, at the end of the day, his heirs got less than 1/10 of his total estate. As far as I'm concerned, that is a very bad result. And if he had done something other than a will and included some trust-based planning, he should have made sure that his heirs got more than that. Groucho Marx. Groucho, he too had a will, but before he died, he was declared incapacitated. And if you know anything about Groucho Marx, he had a life partner. She was also his business manager, and he had kids from another relationship. And the business manager, his life partner, fought with the kids over who controlled Groucho, and more importantly, as far as their perspectives was who controlled Groucho's money. So that was in the courts and newspaper. So Groucho had nothing more than his will, and it wasn't of any help to him. When should you plan? Well, obviously, you should plan now when you're thinking about it. Today, by taking this first step of participating in today's seminar, you are doing something about it, and I would think that you want to go ahead and keep up with the momentum and go ahead and get it done if you don't. Usually we will tell you that there are no second chances because something could happen before you actually engage in estate planning. That's not exactly true. are things we can do after you die, but anything we can do will be limited and it will be much more expensive than had we done it right the first time while you were alive.